Good evening and welcome to Bendat Stadium here in Perth as we look to close out day one of the Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Championships. With the Opens division, we have the West Coast Thunder coming up against the New South Wales Opens team. Both teams currently undefeated at the moment. West Coast Thunder sitting on top of the ladder. New South Wales currently sitting second. My name is Mandy Love, and joining me in commentary today is the delightful... Excuse me, I've lost my voice. That's a great start to the call. Oh my God, Steve, I'm so sorry.
That's
Welcome.
all right. I know you've been doing a lot of commentating, filling a lot of holes today, and it is the last round, like you said. So, all good. Yes, I am Steve McInnes from South Australia, helping call this one as well after playing two and calling another one earlier on my own. So, great to be here. It's going to be a cracker of a match, I hope, Mandy.
It's going to be absolute fire. So, New South Wales actually beat Victoria earlier, 43 to 31. West Coast Thunder beat Queensland 65 to 45. So, a really dominant display in round one. Steve, can you run us through the lineup for the home team, please?
The home team, indeed I can. So, big guy Jerome Gilbard starting in goal shooter. In goal attack, we've got Dylan McPherson. Good to see that. In wing attack, Mitch Purser. In centre, we've got Connor Rawlings. And wing defence, Stewie Buckets Burton. And Daniel Cools in goal defence. And our goalkeeper, Draven Lee Tarola. So, very, very solid lineup there for the Western Australians.
And how do the New South Wales side line up against the West Coast Thunder?
Well, it will be an interesting one to see. Looking at their team sheet from goalkeeper, playing on Jerome, we've got Victor Nikolai, and then Jamal Nicholson, who is the English import, I believe, over there in goal defence. Wing defence, Dylan Nexip, the New South Wales and Australian captain. Coming down the line, not in order, Jack Vandervelde, who played men's reserves last year, gets us underway there in centre for New South Wales. Liam Forcadilla in wing attack, Eugene Lee in goal attack, and in goal shooter, Anton. I can't say his last name, Strzelkowski, something like that.
And straight away we have an intercept from Draven Lee Todor at the back, which gives West Coast Thunder possession of the ball early.
So looking to go one up and convert this for sure, getting a good solid start. Contact again on Anton, so Draven with the ball there.
And Burton connects in with Rawlings. Rawlings has been elevated from the 23s last year as McPherson just slices his way out the front and secures his first goal for the evening.
There you go, so great work by them. First one, turned over and converted. Brilliant work, Dylan McPherson out wide and puts that one straight over out of the court in the far pocket there.
Yeah, normally a really solid connection, but just misplaced on that one. So just a misunderstanding. So here comes his tight one-on-one defense from the front line, and then look for Burton to hunt up high. And as it comes down, they've just dropped down into a box-like formation. So they'll be attacking the space. Forcadilla really well broke that one easily.
Yeah, and Eugene got in behind it too. Just helped him out there with a short little sharp pass.
Eugene Lee will take a ball from the baseline. And just lets it creep in.
Quick little feet there to get himself to the post. Slides on back.
And defence from behind. So both defenders from the West Coast out of play as Eugene Lee goes his first goal for the evening.
Good, one apiece. So off of each other's centre passes to score the first goals. Back where we started.
Yeah, just want a bit of a settler here. Both teams, I feel, are coming in with the right intention, though. And just obstruction call against Burton. What can they do here? Just a nice, easy option and gets the contact call.
Yeah, that connection. Eugene's always going to look nice and early and see if he can flick it over.
Especially if the defender's eyes are down too.
Yeah.
That ball's going to go straight away.
Absolutely.
I'm interested to see how Nicholson goes up against Dylan McPherson tonight, being the international.
Yeah, a bit of a height mismatch.
Yeah, but what he doesn't have in height, he definitely makes up for in different areas of the game.
Absolutely, yeah. Dylan McPherson with his speed normally plays through the mid-court. Here he goes, he puts his shot in, so beautiful work by him. Two apiece.
He actually plays in that goal attack role in the domestic competition here in the WA Netball League. So playing in this goal attack role is nothing new to him, which is nice, and good defensive pressure.
Cools comes up with it.
Yeah, West Coast, great job. And through the middle to Purser. This is a lovely transition ball.
Yeah, Gilbard, McPherson there doing all the refeeds together. Didn't need their middies to hit the circle. Oh, he misses.
Miss? Yeah, first miss.
Buckets.
We should say Burton, recently just became a first-time dad. Just lovely little boy. So excited for him and Miss Emily. And McPherson
finds himself at the post. There was a big fly there from Jamal Nicholson as well. He was very unlucky to not get a hand to that.
So they got the break. Can they consolidate here with their centre pass? Oh, there comes Jamal Nicholson.
That fly there, yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
But, that was such a parallel pass. That was just waiting for any defender to eat that up.
Absolutely, Anton outside the circle now.
And contact call.
On Draven on the far side.
Yep.
So not close to the post. That gets it there.
Seems to be the call of the day. Another contact call. Smart with the ball in hand, aren't they?
They are indeed, yeah. Play the percentage. Get that ball to the post as best you can. 3-piece. Next hip now working there well with Jack van der Velde to get that ball down to the transverse line. Liam Forcadilla working as well nicely. Circle edge with Eugene. He gets so low, yeah. As Cools was motioning there.
Oh, strong rebound with that one-hand stretch from Lee Todua. How do they bring this ball down? Long through McPherson.
Yeah, just standing out wide. Having to go back to Burton now. Purser drives up the middle. Beautiful work by him. Gets himself circle edge.
I feel like Gilbert really needs to turn to post.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. It's unusual. He should just turn to post. It gives him time to have a think, and then he can offload still if he has to. But to not look, I think does him a disservice, because he can shoot from anywhere too.
And just in the vision of the eyes of the goal shooter, of Dylan McPherson, and he makes them pay for it. So 4-3 the score in favour of the lads from the West. Oh, Purser looking in early.
Oh, it's a bit of a ram mishap there. Kind of let it go before he meant to, I think. It just kind of dropped out of his hands.
And he even asked for it too, and then he realised it was covered. Oh, Coach Lorraine Ward not impressed. She's right up in the substitution box, calling things early.
Yeah, Wardy's done great things with this Western Australian team over the last few years. They've really built and built and built. It's been a fantastic effort by her, and all the boys, of course, as well.
Absolutely. Just the dedication she's had and the commitment to the program is second to none. And the work she does in the underpinning age groups as well is great.
Oh, buckets, good hands.
And great job from the West Coast Thunder as Forcadilla lets it spill over the baseline.
Yep, just that good close pressure just to force that tip, and it put Forcadilla in a heck of a position to try and reel that in.
That long court transition, it's literally one pass and it's down. It's already gone.
Some transverse line. They're not even messing around with it around that centre of the court, are they? Why bother? And get it to McPherson out there with his great timing.
And Gilbert secures his second of the evening. So rare for Jerome to have such a low volume right now, but, I think that's the nature of this game. It's just so tightly contested.
Yeah, look, he'll start to bring himself into it over the course of the quarter in the game. Don't you worry about that.
And next hip, strong contest against Rawlings. You got the Australian Sonics captain up against a 23 and under in his debut season for the Open Men's. This is the baptism of fire for Rawlings. Jamal Nicholson asking questions.
A good solid hold again. Both teams working to the post really, really well. No long-range shots needed to happen as of yet.
Yeah, they're not taking many big risks at the moment. Just safe and composed netball.
Western Australians really covering Eugene well on that centre pass, and still, to be honest, covering him very well.
Yeah, because he's got such a change of speed as well, so they know he's a danger man. As soon as he gets in that circle, he just opens up the space at the back for Anton. So if they can deny their entry early, it'll give them a chance. And like this instance right now, they've got the turnover ball, so now they've got an opportunity to make it a 3-goal margin.
Again, great mid-court connections. Jerome outside the circle. Oh, it's his own player, so play on. Cools takes that one over Eugene Lee. Big outstretched hands from him. And ball to the post. Beautiful work.
Beautifully weighted pass.
Yeah, perfect timing on it, just to hold that for long enough and then pop it on over. Beautiful work. Romy knew all day.
And I really like what Mitch Purse is doing in the wing attack. I put the mocker on him because he was doing really nice things.
Commentator's
prior to
curse,
that. Absolutely,
Mandy.
I know. And held ball, no, contact call. I love that Burton is looking high for those intercepts. And lead with the ball in hand.
No, nowhere to go.
And
Ooh.
just the pressure release from the contact.
Yeah, could have been a hell ball there very easily.
Who would want to be an official right now? Like, no one wants to make these calls.
Somehow that ball comes off the back of Draven's head.
And I thought they were going to go long like they have been. It was open from all days. Gilbert well out of the goal circle now.
Yeah, see that rotation now. So Jerome coming out, letting McPherson go in and connecting up. A bit different for Western Australia. Really well to mix that up at the moment. Make sure it doesn't get predictable.
And they have options too on the bench in that shooting circle with the likes of Elliot Clark and even Maddie Brown. So they've got options for the West. But at the moment, why would you, this is working right now, so why change it?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely do have options. I'd love to see Jerome run goal attack with big Maddie Brown in there. My God, that would be amazing.
Oh, and again, they run that at a domestic level, so it's nothing new for them. It would be really interesting to see them run that combination, but I like the impact that they have with McPherson in that goal attack. He just offers that speed and agility on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking down at the Western Australian bench, I can see that it's only Jason Hurd who's got a wing attack bib on, but no changes as yet.
Yeah.
5 minutes left to play. Possibly won't see a change now.
And just really good hustle from the WA team defensively. That took a very long time to get into the shooting circle, but once in there, Anton secures it with a goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Western Australians doing really, really well. Dylan wanted that back ball over the little screen there. Goes through. Oh, Jamal nearly gets his hands to that.
And that's just the speed of McPherson, though, to ask for that ball, knowing that he's going to get himself in the right position. And just offside from next hip.
Yeah, nice work there by McPherson. Beautiful shot.
And if they're going to double team Jerome, they really need to look at shutting down McPherson because he's the playmaker down here for this front line. As
Draven comes across the front.
Elevations
Perfect.
for days.
Yep, that intercept. Just superb. He does it fantastically well.
And this is what I like about Mitch Purse's game. He's there at the right time. So he's been able to connect the ball from the defensive end and then finds himself easily on circle edge to connect with his shooters. So it'll be a West Coast Thunder ball. They're currently got a 5-goal margin here. So the lead snuck out to up to 5, so 10 plays 5.
Yeah, we had a bit of ping-pong netball to start with goals being scored off of the other team's centre passes. And now, since then, Western Australia have really pushed and pushed and pushed. So, Purser getting the better of Jack Vandervelde for New South Wales at the moment. Contact call from Nikolai at the back there.
And he's just asking, looks like there is...
A sweaty ball?
No, I think it's blood on the ball.
Is it blood?
So looking for the person.
Yep, everyone's checking everything. See where it is.
Oh, it looks like it's Jamal Nicholson.
Where is it? Yeah, umpire just checking. Making sure he's going to check his uniform, which he is. I can't see any blood on it at the moment, but they're going to have to stop the bleeding.
So everyone in that shooting circle making sure that they are...
They're all just getting checked. It's like getting nails checked at the start of the game again. Everyone's with hands up.
Yep, absolutely.
Showing all their skin. Jerome puts
adding
that
to
in.
his tally. Forcadier with the centre pass receipt. And so free pass here to Vandervelde. Finds Forcadier in the pocket. Here comes Eugene Lee and opens up nicely, but smothered by Draven Lee Todua.
Yeah, just comes in with perfect timing, doesn't he? And gets that sneaky little hand in there.
And just resetting because of Eugene Lee sort of moving off the penalty mark.
Purser looks long down to Gilbert, who's been coming out and releasing that pressure for Western Australia.
So we've got a new goal defence on for New South Wales.
Ooh.
An offensive contact against Rawlings. So it looks like Jack Vanderveld getting the better of Rawlings.
And McPherson pretty sore down there behind play. He fell and slid a long way into that circle.
Yeah, he's still looking like he's trying to recover as well, doesn't he?
He's a pretty tough cookie. I think he'll be all right. Just having a bit of a stretch while he's got the time while the court's being dried. It's all right. We hold time here, so still 2 minutes 39 on the clock. It's not a problem. He can suck in a few big ones and get back out there.
He's got such an engine on him, so, you know, don't expect him to be down for too long. He'll be up and raring to go.
Again, just the Western Australians everywhere defending this ball.
Yeah, and it's the box-like formation, so they go into their zone play. It's something that they're well known for. They set it up quite early, and they start off as a one-on-one, and then they form on the inside and force them wide.
Well, just catching a bit of body there, Daniel Cools. Otherwise, really good effort, front spot, force that ball high. Eugene Lee finishes that off for New South Wales' 6th goal of the game. Nice centre pass set up there. Gets Purser into the pocket.
An early release from Rawlings to Gilbard. Saw him early. Vision was up. Gilbard makes them pay down the West Coast Thunder end. So 12 plays 6. Offensive contact against Lee.
Yeah, Cools doing the right thing, getting the front spot, holding it, and just forcing Eugene Lee to push him in the back there.
And maintaining body positioning in those moments. So easy do we drop our body instead of keeping it upright to showcase the contact that's been had. Oh,
there's
tricky.
The big fake from Gilbard. I do love that.
It's the Gilbard special.
It is indeed. He's got those big hands that just hangs it out there and
almost
reels it back in.
Teases the defenders with it. And McPherson again back in action in the goal shooting circle. So just under a minute to play. Has to go all the way back. Oh,
Whoop.
Loose pass.
Yeah, Cools having to chase that down.
Great awareness by Cools, though, to recognise that.
Oh, that is very long there by Draven.
Yes. This possession, very scrappy for West Coast Thunder. They'll look to tidy this up as we've got 48 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, maybe they just thought there was a bit less time than they actually had there. It probably was
and it's something that's
a bit
happening
rattled
throughout the day where the buzzers are going off at different times.
From the other courts,
for various reasons.
Yeah, the other court did go off just a few seconds before that.
Obviously, we had the time held because of the blood rule earlier, so that's why we're a few sort of seconds later than the other court. But as an athlete, you have to know that as Draven Lee Totoa contests in the air, and Eugene Lee, obstruction call against Cools. Gets another goal for the New South Wales team.
So New South with this last centre pass here, you would imagine, 15 seconds. Jack circle edge, works well into Anton. Has to refeed. Eugene Lee pops out though. Probably last shot of the quarter. It is. So this centre pass you wouldn't think would be taken now. We're in that last 3 seconds.
And just some cheeky play by Eugene Lee.
Yeah, trying to help him on his way. Hurry up and take that centre, young fella.
Absolutely. And that is the end of the first quarter here in round 2 for the Open Men's Division. West Coast Thunder currently leading 13 goals to 8 against New South Wales. Don't go anywhere. We're expecting a very big second quarter and a resurgence from the New South Wales team. Stay with us. The AMMNA Championships in 2023, proudly supported by Blade and WA, Great Temptation Sweet Treats, Spud Shed, West Coast Fever and Netball WA. West Coast Thunder are proudly supported by Forte Physiotherapy, WA Sports Performance, Spud Shed, Subiaco Sports Massage, the Wembley Hotel, Fresh Frontier and Smell Sea by Chelsea. Welcome back to Bendat Stadium. We have the Open Men's Division here, round 2, West Coast Thunder, the home team, currently leading 13 goals to 8 against New South Wales. My name is Mandy Love. I can't forget his name now. It's Steve McInnes from South Australia. What were your thoughts on the first quarter?
Yeah, really solid, really good defensive efforts, I thought, from Western Australia. Draven at the back, managing to get himself kind of offline and having a run at anything long, getting himself some good front ball intercepts and then some nice touches as well. You know, Eugene and Anton for New South are always going to put that ball to the post, so they're putting lots of pressure on that shooter-to-shooter pass. And up front for Western Australia, also doing really well through Dylan McPherson in that goal attack position. And Jerome Gilbert, as we see him trying to hold some space there now. Beautiful work. Putting in a good mixture of shots between the two of them. And
Nikolai doing a really good job just sort of corralling around his body in that passage of play. Just really hassling for him to readjust his position. New South Wales, what can they do?
Yeah, Eugene mid-range. No, it's going to go under the post for the contact call from Cools. So another easy one there for New South. 1-1 so far early on in this second quarter. Purser having to look back this time. McPherson
goes quickly.
So quick with that ball, so quick with his feet. It's amazing to watch.
And his ball placement in the heat of the mid-lead is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Precision. So Nikolai there. Obstruction call. McPherson
misses.
Good rebounds there.
Yeah, that's
his
first miss of the game so far. So he'll be looking to rectify that with some really tough defense and footwork call. So they get another opportunity here, the West Coast Thunder team.
And contact call as well. So a couple there against next hip. This little passage play not going well for him. Purser, top of circle. McPherson doesn't want to look at that one.
Great ball from Purser.
Jerome Gilbert just ripped that ball in too.
The understanding, though, knowing that everyone was focusing on McPherson and they just opened up Gilbert at the back. And
classic play.
It was such a deft touch on that pass too. And Purser again.
Can't quite reel it in time.
He's having a phenomenal first 20 minutes of this game, I tell you what. Apart from my commentator's curse in the first quarter, I think he's doing a really solid performance.
It's been pretty sharp, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, getting himself nice and free, middle corridor, doing really good work in wing attack. Next hit and Forcadilla now. Anton stuck outside the circle.
He's quite agile too for such a tall as well. He's not just a traditional holding shooter.
Yeah, correct.
So
which is almost sometimes harder to stop when you've got that agility as well.
Jerome Gilbert coming out to release the pressure out in the goal third.
Yeah, we saw him start to do that late in that first quarter. And contact goal defender, so McPherson going to work again to Jerome Gilbert at the post.
Just some slight adjustments need to be made as well by the defensive circle for New South Wales. They've been caught out a couple of times and things that they can control. So look for them to tidy it up. Dan Cools had a look at that. Him and Draven Lee Toto are doing a really good job as Eugene Lee creeps the ball in and gets the held ball. Was called out of, and the West Coast Thunder just goes straight away. They're not waiting for an explanation.
Nope, don't need to. If it's there, I think just take it and go.
So Rawlings, free pass. See, I thought that pass was like a tad predictable. I would have liked to see him balk that and look elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Could have opened up Jerome at the back
there.
Oh,
quick roll off from McPherson. And Rawlings strong on that circle edge.
Again, West Coast just being so patient with it. Going out when they have to.
Well, they don't need to attack it every single time. They're just trying to play with some composure now. They've got a 6-goal lead, but they still want to apply that scoreboard pressure ticking over ever so slightly. Each time they get the ball, they want to make sure they convert it.
Yeah, and absolutely. Every time they've got the ball in their hands, there's more seconds that New South Wales aren't scoring.
Oh,
great drive there from Stuart Burton.
Yeah, screams through. And great connection from Person to McPherson.
I don't think he gained any ground then.
He probably didn't.
Great refeed, but probably didn't gain any ground. Could have taken the first shot.
It was probably just, shooters like to have their motion, so he might have obviously not been in a good position for himself when he caught the ball.
Eugene Lee. That
fortunate.
Whistle had already gone. I didn't hear that one.
And showing the space in between. They're having a great little battle, aren't they?
Absolutely.
And Anton collects his own rebound. They try a lift. And Anton successful on the third attempt.
Yeah, so all Australian players in that goal circle down there. All very, very good at what they do. Nice little look by Jerome out to Purser on the wing.
Like a little look away, wasn't it?
It was indeed. Just flicked it. Flick of the wrist.
Oh,
does it again.
that's
Bounce
pretty
pass style this time.
And strong. Connor Rawlings, really strong contest.
Yeah, great follow by him.
Too. He's been a great injection into this open men's environment. Jerome Gilbert just showing the referee that this is a contact, this is where it's at. The ball was knocked out of my hands. Is there a call here? And this occasion it was.
Yeah, the 23 is great. It's a great feeder, isn't it, into this Opens environment. I could say Connor coming up from there.
Oh, I am in love with the 23s division. This is the 23s division for me is probably one of the highlights of this Nationals. Just the future of men's netball, and you see a couple of the 23s. One here in the West Coast Thunder. There's a few in the Queensland team. No doubt a couple in the South Australian team as well, Steve.
Yeah, definitely a couple that are eligible, but playing opens instead of 23s. For sure, and then getting their opportunities on court as well and taking them when they do. So it is really, really good to see.
And there's McPherson collecting another one to add to the tally.
Every division here at the championships always tightly fought, particularly when it comes to the end of the week.
Absolutely. Everyone's trying to win the Nationals day one, but it's, day 3, 4 where the grind really happens.
The grind is a very good way of describing it.
I was calling a men's reserve game earlier, and, they've got 9 teams in their division, so that's a real battle for top 4. Here in Open Men's, they play each other twice, I believe, and then they're looking for a top 4 finish. The hunt really is for that 1-2 placing at the end of the week.
That second chance, absolutely good pick up there on the loose ball from Rawlings, but throws it away, unfortunately.
Did all the work, just a bit of an adrenaline rush on the feed. Yeah, just collected on the hip.
So it's out to 10 goals now.
Yeah, it gets out quite quickly too, and something that I have noticed about this West Coast Thunder team, they're here to really put the pedal down every single time. Like if they've got a lead, they want to make sure that they get as many goals as possible each and every time.
Great weight there as well.
And great
Rawlings.
ball.
Yeah. Knew McPherson was smothered and just went, well, that must mean Jerome's free, and there he is under the post. Gilbard with a shot.
And what I loved about that is that McPherson took that dummy lead on knowing that he was going to get collected.
Yeah, he's pretty used to that. Finds himself on the floor very often, I have found.
Oh, nice
another one.
Outside arm by Stuart Burton. Here's a quick give and go. Looks like Next Hip's on at goal defence. So interesting change here. So Next Hip started in wing defence. Now he slots into the goal defence role. I believe it is a position that he does play, but I think he will match McPherson very well now. So this will be an interesting matchup against McPherson.
Yeah, 2-on-1 in the circle, though, for the Thunder, and they finish that one off. So don't want to be contacting outside the circle, and I think it's going to be a West Coast ball. It is indeed. So Thunder still chipping away. Chance to score this one and actually be doubling New South Wales if they score this 24-12.
That's just the result of all that defensive pressure that West Coast are applying full court, like right from the shooting end with that hard one-on-one, which allows the defensive end to have a float. The likes of the Burton can attack the ball in long court.
Lorraine Ward still up and about, walking down in that box,
yeah.
even though they're up by.
Oh no,
they're doubling the other team. She's up and animated still.
Excellent. She wants every game. Every game matters to her. She wants to get that top 2 finish.
Absolutely.
And earn the right to get into that grand final.
And they definitely can this year. They have got some talent, that is for sure. So nice and patient here from the West Coast lads.
And McPherson, Ginger, just got collected on the way through. Might have been a clash of the ankles.
He managed to get rid of that ball before.
Yeah, he's asking for it. Yeah,
done.
He needs to come off. He is hurting, and he's a strong character. So for him to ask to come off.
No one's putting a bib on yet for him on that bench.
No, here comes Elliot Clark with the goal attack bib on.
Here we go. Yep, bibbing up now.
As they jostle for position.
Great ball over the top to Gilbard. Finishes that one off.
So McPherson just needs to be smart here.
Or offensive contact on that centre pass. Mitch Purser.
So Forcadell with the ball in hand. Strong on the circle edge against his Aussie teammate in Stuart Burton. And in the background, on comes Elliot Clark for West Coast Thunder. Good
hands by Daniel Cools there as well. Yep, so the change has happened. McPherson heading to the end of the bench, going to get some treatment. Sucking a few big breaths. He's done a mountain of work, which has been really, really good. Help the West Coast Thunder to this lead that they have now.
And bucket.
Well, they come up with it still.
Yeah, they do.
Some nice hands there by Rawlings just to get it back.
Teamwork, and that's the hustle, though. Every time there's a loose ball, someone from West Coast Thunder is on it straight away.
Yeah, getting a bit of space there now by Jerome coming outside that circle. Jack Vandervelde in wing defence doing a good job to hold Jerome up. Elliot Clark gets his first look at it since coming on.
Yeah, and he's a mid-range shooter. Like, he has no issue with long bombs, so I expect him to take this.
Both plays out, so steps it in. Not a long bomb at all in the end.
No.
Both defenders being out of play. Almost a cardinal sin in that defensive circle.
So great contest in that wing attack, wing defence lineup. So Burton versus Forcadell.
Circle edge.
And
too much.
Yeah, Eugene Lee's come off as well. So there's been a replacement in that goal attack position for New South Wales.
Oh, a little bit of a chairlift throw there. Taroa throwing Cools about. Giving him a bit of extra elevation. Not that he needs it.
Oh, Purser with the feed, and Clark collects at the baseline. Gets himself closer. Not happy with that distance.
No.
And that just might have been the height difference, you know, in the stretch over from the defensive setup. I'd like to see him take the defense away from Gilbard. If he's going to be busy elsewhere. Just leave it with the one-on-one.
Yeah, absolutely. Has Clark come up through 23s as well
Yeah, he has.
Recently?
Last year was his first year in Open Men's.
Excellent.
So second year Open Men's. So he had a fantastic WA Netball League season last year with the Curtin Hammersley Comets. And finds himself back in the Open Men's environment this year.
Excellent. I do think I remember calling him at a tournament as well in one of those junior grades. I wasn't sure if it was 23s. Didn't get to call any games in Adelaide last year. I was too busy doing too many things.
And Lee Totoa comes up with a big win.
Yeah, down their sideline now. Great work to get that ball back central again. That's where they've got options now.
And you can see, call goes over a third. I feel like the pace of this game's really dropped off a little bit, hasn't it? Like
it has now, coming into this half-time era.
We had Eugene Lee come off and also Dylan McPherson. Those are two big engine rooms.
Demon.
Yeah, absolutely. And great defensive touch from Cools.
Yeah, just a minute 30 left to play.
Jace
Hurd coming on.
Coming on at centre. So fresh legs for the last 90 seconds of the first half, round 2.
So just get him a little bit of run. And Forcadell having to chase that one down. Good awareness to know where Jack was driving Lee Taroa.
He just came through screaming. That was great.
Saw that a mile away, didn't he? And then ran that mile to get it.
Acceleration.
Just fantastic.
Line of the ball. And equally, Forcadell comes up with his own intercept. They are not to be outdone. No,
West Coast having to look back way too far. And then Forcadell gets to throw away his own ball, unfortunately. So he did all the work to turn it over, and then he threw it out of court. Chiroa, nice front cut.
Now we know that they can get this ball down quickly. Oh, breaking through the zone is Mitch Purser. Strong on the take his feet through the ball, collected the body, got the contact call. Great job.
Yeah, West Coast not in a hurry here. They've got 20 seconds, and they know they can just probably play with this ball for 20 seconds and score the last goal of this quarter.
And then everyone panics when they hear that little...
and Purser's just grabbing his calf as well.
Oh, it's left calf. Injuries happening all over the place.
He just has to stand there for 4 seconds. It's going to be time anyway. That centre's not going to be taken because there's
no, I don't think he can move.
Less than 3 seconds.
I think something might have popped in his calf. Physiotherapist Simon Trinker kept very busy.
Yes, always. Trinks is a great physio. He will make sure that he gets attended to. So the injury is not a good sign for the West Coast Thunder. But otherwise, they are absolutely dominating this game. 27-14 at the half.
So, yeah, the defense for the West Coast Thunder really picked up in that second quarter, restricting them to only 6 goals. So that needs to be addressed by the New South Wales team in the second half. Stay tuned with us. We want to see more intercepts from Lee Totoa. If you're interested, stay with us with the home team, the West Coast Thunder. How much can they push on in terms of this margin? Currently at 27. What's our score prediction? We'll find out shortly after this.
Having a pretty good season this year, Andy.
By the look of this lot, you are too.
Well, we've got a good team out in the field. You want to go meet them?
Sure. So what do you grow here?
We've got broccolis, collies over there, carrots, you name it. We harvest it today, catch, and it's in the stores tomorrow.
So you guys are the midfielders of the fruit and veg?
At Spot Shed, we grow it.
We sell it, you save.
Giving this season everything we've got. Just try and stop us. Don't miss the excitement of West Coast Fever at RAC Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketek.com.au. Giving this season everything we've got. Just try and stop us. Don't miss the excitement of West Coast Fever at RAC Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketek.com.au.
Forte Physiotherapy has been providing physiotherapy services and rehabilitation services for West Coast Thunder since inception. We are a proud sponsor of this athlete group and look after many athletes and general population in the clinic. If you have an injury or chronic pain, see the professionals at Forte Physiotherapy. You can book online at www.fortephysio.com.
And they do have a few injuries at the moment, don't they?
Absolutely.
So Simon Trinker from Forte Physio
has his
looking
work
after the
cut
boys.
out for the boys as we look forward to the second half of this round 2 clash between the top 2 teams currently. West Coast Thunder, very dominant, 27 goals to 14 against New South Wales. We were just chatting off air, and we spoke the fact that West Coast Thunder restricted New South Wales to only 6 goals in that quarter. That's huge defensive work. Steve, talk the viewers through how that was achieved.
Well, Draven at the back there, as you can see, has just got himself offline and had a hunt at anything and everything. Elliot Clark there, unfortunately, just fumbling that one, turning it over. But yeah, they've just set themselves up. They've done that nice box work, filled space, and then some really good tight one-on-one contests as well, just to force fumbles and mistakes. So it's been really, really good. You see them in that structure now. Daniel Cool's just chasing a little bit on that one and doubling back, forcing the swings. There's the errors. Oh, it lands out of court.
And he's come through, so Draven Lee Toto will get the call. So there's been a couple of positional changes. So it looks like Dale Mather has come on in wing defence for West Coast Thunder. Stuart Burton running in the middle. Jason Hurd in wing attack. Elliot Clark maintaining his role in goal attack. And for the New South Wales, looks like Fogarty is still, he's in at centre, and Eugene Lee is in at wing attack. So maybe looking to get that speed off the line and a new goal attack. It's the young guy.
Elliot Clark looking there to refeed to Hurd. He puts that ball in right to the post. Jerome Gilbert almost landed on the post there and does not miss from there.
I have a feeling the goal attack might be Callum Price or Joe Miller for New South Wales. I don't know.
No, it is Nathan Gurmach. Yep.
Completely wrong. But see,
Yep,
this is
you
why
are.
I had my glasses and it's still wrong.
And the names are very, very hard to read from up here. But do go see an ophthalmologist and get a test. Mandy.
It might help me with the call. And Jason Hurd collected, giving them a high five on his way through.
Yeah, straight up the middle. And Jack Vandervelde standing out of play. So going to be a free player here. They can work for each other at West Coast.
I love how sussy they are to the umpires. Like, did you see his arm wrapped around my arm?
Mm-hmm. Do something about that.
Yeah, that's why. And, our officials over the course of this week, they've got a lot to look at in terms of the men's game. There's so much happening off ball. And the pace and the speed of the game that it's played at is just incredibly fit, our officials all week. So kudos and credit to them.
Absolutely. How fast they have to make a decision to make a call or not make a call or advantage and those sorts of things is phenomenal. They do an amazing job, especially this late in the day after being here all day.
And then getting villainised every single call that the opposition thinks is wrong.
Yeah, games have been running since 9 a.m. this morning. Elliot Clark picks that up.
Great work from Elliot Clark, much to the delight of the crowd.
Draven having to chase that down
through the legs.
Unfortunately, doesn't find a West Coast player. Great athleticism once again from Draven. There he is, gets around, can't get up that time, just too close body on body. I love it when he gets offline, it just has a fly.
I know, his attack off the line of the ball is amazing. And his elevation is so good in the air.
And his timing is perfection. That ball's already in the air, so it can't change
Long ball to
trajectory.
Elliot Clark, he asked for it.
Yeah, he
Needs
was
to be about a
definitely
foot
free
taller.
out there. Or the pass a little bit flatter.
So here comes this one-on-one defense. So the front line does the one-on-one and then look for someone to hunt at the back. So forming into their 5-die zone. So across the transverse line, and I like the work that New South Wales have done. They've broken this really nicely, just with patient play.
Yeah, so it's 2-2. And see, there's that 1-2 defence. Cools gets up, makes that ball nice and high, and then Truoa has a go at the back of it as well. They get that one over, though. It is risky from New South to be throwing that ball so high into that circle with those boys flying around. Eugene Lee now does the work on the centre pass. Forcadia in centre. Out to Anton.
And already, New South Wales have already scored 3 goals in this third quarter, so up to a great start.
Yeah, absolutely. Hasn't been 5 minutes played yet, but again, hands from Taroa. Matha does all right.
Yeah, he just disrupts the play, doesn't he? You know, he was last year's MVP for the tournament. Was rewarded with an Australian selection for Open Men's.
Indeed, so I think that was a footwork call. There's no one standing out of play. Didn't see what the umpire signalled. It's just behind the table here for me. So New South getting it back. Have scored more goals this quarter so far than Western Australia. Just scored the 2. So they want to score this one and go 4-2 up in this quarter, making a good start to the second half.
And great contest on the circle edge from Burton. So as a coach, Steve, what strategies do you think New South Wales are looking at in the second half of this game? Like, clearly the score's blown out by 12. They can still bring it back, I'm not going to lie, but it's a really tough ask. What do you look at, what do they look to fix at the moment?
They've got to look after their possession first and foremost. I think they've got to start going maybe a little bit shorter, a little bit lower, and doing more work early to make sure. Well, that has come off Elliot Clark, unfortunately. Yeah, he's needed out of court. And just look after that ball a little bit. So shorter, because that will take these big defenders that have a run and have a fly out of the game. So Taroa and Cools, they won't get hands to ball if they haven't got a line to run.
And that's a better entry into the circle from New South Wales. I like that they're having to play it back.
Yeah, Clark having a good dig on the transverse line there. So here we see Gurmich to the post.
And this short, sharp game really draws the defender in. So, they don't get to play this offline as...
There's that ball over the top. And it's a fumble out of court, unfortunately, because it's a good close contest.
And for me, I don't understand why they're still looking for that back space, especially on the height mismatch with Gurmisher and Dan Cools. They know that Thunder have aerial defenders, so why are they looking to go for the aerial space?
Yeah, get them jumping and then put that ball out to someone low in front. And then they're just going to have to work to the post and just be a bit smarter about it.
Do the work. Easier said than done from up here.
This kind of work, this kind of work here. That's it. And
all the stuff that hits the floor. I mean, personally, hate it when I see people dropping these beautiful, tall, 6'6" shooters to the ground with a bounce pass. Throw it at the gut. They're going to get a contact call. They can absorb the pressure. They can take the impact.
I'm not a big fan of bounce passes. I did one today.
Of course,
I was very disappointed with myself. It got there though. At least it got there. I panicked a little bit. Do one every about 100 games I play, I think.
Well, you have been playing for a few years now, Steve. You are one of the most experienced campaigners. And if New South Wales thought that their job was done and they had Jerome Gilbert only to deal with, they now have the likes of, looks like Matty Brown steps into the substitution box.
I called it. He's coming on a goal shooter.
Love it. Can't wait to see it. Does Jerome come out the front row?
Does Jerome roll?
Is your dream going to come in reality today?
I want to see this. Here he goes.
Oh, he's got a bib. Just get given a bib too. I think it might happen.
Yep. Goal shooter's coming off. Big Matt Brown is down there in that goal circle. And yes, the goal attack bib is going on the back of Jerome Gilbert. I called that nice and early.
You did.
In the piece.
Ask and you shall receive, Steve.
Wardy, she knows me so well.
Also, it's a known combination too. They've played together for a number of years, so smart move.
Yeah, that tall timber from, Jerome's tall timber, but Matty Brown, even taller. Less agile.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Burton's putting on a bib too. Wouldn't be surprised if he's in wing attack. Oh, no, wing defence.
He's got a wing defence on. No, but Matty Brown so smart up there and will just connect so well.
Well, he's just going to draw 2 defenders in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time.
And then it can just be front ball.
Yep.
Easy. Again, turn, look to post or offload. There's all those options, and if they use it well, it's just going to be unstoppable.
And Elliot Clark coming off. Jerome Gilbert back on in goal attack.
Strolling on casually.
Now he's got to run.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually enjoy Jerome Gilbert in goal attack. I think he offers something completely different for this West Coast Thunder front line when he runs it.
He's just so versatile, Jerome.
But it's his netball IQ, his spatial awareness and placement of the ball in flight. It's amazing.
Absolutely. I have actually played an indoor tour in South Africa with Jerome, and he was my keeper. So
of course he was.
The boy knows how to play netball no matter what end of the court he is on. There he goes, nice and patient, resetting. And the thing, I think people, if they can play goalkeeper, then they can play goal shooter and vice versa as well, because then they know where they need to go in each.
Look, they can probably get
right?
the ball, but they just can't shoot it, maybe. This man definitely knows how to shoot the ball, though.
Yes, he does. Look at that. His second already since coming on.
Was only on for a few minutes in round one, so I think he's very much understanding his role early on in the week, but I think he'll be getting a lot more minutes as the week progresses.
Yeah, he will be an important target for West Coast team as they go down through the rest of this tournament, that is for sure.
And just his sheer experience alone as Lee Totoa gets up in the contest for the rebound. New South Wales feed. And Germisher, offloads. Yeah, see, listen, in the gut.
Look at it. Yep.
Loved it.
Defender's not getting that there.
They're not going to get any access to that. So 33 plays 20, so 13 goal margin.
Nice there from Rawlings to get himself free on that circle edge. Brown again. Just stepped into that one a little bit.
And I think Rawlings has really sort of eased into the game. I think they tried to outmuscle him early, but then they realised that he can contain and can absorb that impact. And not only can he do that, he can then deliver a really good ball. So Wardy with the hands up in the air.
Yeah.
Didn't understand that one.
No, both players standing out. Both players breaking and going too fast. So next hip ending up with that ball further closer to the transverse line than it actually was.
The triangle play from New South Wales and was out of court. So New South Wales with the baseline feed. And obstruction just on the landing. They're asking questions, aren't they?
They are indeed. Absolutely. But still 13 goals here. That was the halftime lead.
3 pass play. Pretty netball.
Yes, indeed. So even quarter this quarter so far. We're just on centre passes. And Eugene Lee doing some good work at wing attack. Out of that goal attack roll, looking in for that feed. Oh, stretches Anton. And there's that nice rotation. Anton dropping back and Nath Germich coming through, taking that front spot.
And finishes with a bit of a perler of a shot too. So they call this the championship quarter, third quarter. It's goal for goal currently. Who gets the ascendancy, Steve? Who do you think is sort of making more of an impact in this quarter?
Oh, it's just so close. This particular one, very, very close. Still on centre. And unfortunately for New South, it's just not going to be enough to ride it out. They actually have to make an impact, and they haven't yet, unfortunately. So you'd say Western Australia holding it then is just keeping them, with the ascendancy in this game.
Yeah, and they did the work early on in the game to allow themselves to work to a lead. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been the defensive end that is just absolutely smothered. I mean, the West Coast attack has been great too, don't get me wrong, because they've scored all of those nice conversions. But just to get that ball off this New South lineup has been fantastic.
Especially with the players in this lineup. I don't think anyone was expecting this type of a margin.
But Cools and Toro now with that time playing for Australia under their belt is just a fantastic combination for West Coast.
Well, they also train together as West Coast Fever training partners alongside Jerome Gilbard and Dylan McPherson, so they've got access to this high-performance environment to really hone their craft here locally and bring that to the national stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and as we speak, Cools on cue.
Absolutely. Got to stop going high into that circle.
And Rawlings through the middle, passes it to Fulkadia. Don't think that was his intention.
No, definitely not, but that's what happened. So New South with a chance to get this one back because they turned it over with a poor feed a little bit earlier. Minute 15 left to play here. And then we will be at three-quarter time.
And you see Jerome Gilbert just kicking his right foot, so he wasn't quite comfortable with what happened there. Hopefully it's just a stinger.
Look straight in. Nice one, 1-2 with Hurd on the circle edge. Going to go back to him.
Yeah, Matty Brown gets the arm up. Strong in the body.
Yeah,
just
so big, so strong.
so strong. But, you know, we can see his positioning as clear as day from all the way up here. So I can only imagine what it's like for his feeders. That just must be such a luxury.
Absolutely.
So 38 plays 24. And coverage from Lee Todor on the outside as he does the hedging and just clips in with the arm.
Yep, umpire just setting this up. Going to be short.
And just leading off.
So doing it again. Hopefully he doesn't miss this time.
And he doesn't. 15 seconds on the clock. Can Thunder score?
You don't want to waste the centre pass here, and I don't think they will. That was a nice long look.
So direct.
Bang. 2-pass goal.
Absolutely.
Centre pass straight into your shooter. Perfect work. Rawlings trying to hurry that up, but that will be the three-quarter time break.
So we've got 15 minutes of netball here. Let's stay in support of the home team, the West Coast Thunder, as they work their way through this game. They're currently leading 39-25. Stay tuned with us after this. And welcome back here to Bendat Stadium, round 2 of the Open Men's Division. We've got West Coast Thunder currently leading 39-25 against the New South Welshmen. It's been a massive game for Thunder defensively. My name is Mandy Love. Joining me is Steve McInnes. Steve, any changes on court from either team?
Having a quick look around, not too much for West Coast Thunder. And why would you? Wardy probably want to keep them the same and let them run this quarter out. I can see a few changes. So, still got Anton, still got Eugene and Nathan as well. And in goal defence, they have, trying to find a name for us, is Martin Blundell, I think, in goal defence.
Lee Todor goes for a hunt.
So let's see if they can make an impact. Oh, Anton got to put those away. Gets his rebounds though.
So let's see what Blundell can do on impact against Australian Sonics goaler Jerome Gilbard, playing out in goal attack this quarter. looking at the sort of feeder roll into Matty Brown at the back inside the goal circle. Look for him to create. As he connects long, straight into Matty Brown. Gets it on the left hand, easy as he does it.
Yep, doesn't miss from there.
And, you know, as a solid shooter,
Oh,
you know,
Cools.
yeah, he comes out and gets the call too.
Nice long run at it. And again, that's just a close contest that forces the error, and it just comes off the opponent's hand. So great work. Didn't even need to touch the ball.
And, you know, when you're up and about too, calls generally go your way in favour of you normally.
Yeah, absolutely. Gilbard there working as an extra wing attack, feeding Matthew Brown so well.
And the thing is, though, they can push him out as far as they like in that shooting circle. He's going to turn and go to post. He's a very accurate shooter.
Absolutely. Oh,
that
long
pass
ball
was
there.
not accurate, though.
Just a bit too keen. Maybe a set piece that Gilbard thought was on. Didn't quite read it.
He acknowledged his coach, Lloyd. Okay, yeah, that's my one. That's enough. Girmisher. Now, I have a feeling he's come from the 23s sort of squad a couple of years ago too.
Yeah, most likely.
So it's really nice to see.
Through the New South Wales program.
Oh, missed shot. Eugene Lee with the ball in hand. They've got to release it to him as the shooters are peeling out. You know, they're just waiting too long with the ball in hand. And that just might be respecting the defenders a lot as well. But, you know, you can see the screens being set and it's not being taken.
Yeah, absolutely. Good contest there. Great elevation once again. Just having to go at everything. The Thunder defenders.
Yeah, I'd like to see Girmisher really line up on that ball. And again, the only option is high. So that the Thunder defenders know this, so they're just forcing them towards the baseline and hoping that the ball spills over, which
just
it has.
Getting front spot and then just watching it get thrown out of court over their heads, basically. And that is good front spot netball. Like, that's where you want to win games from.
And into the pocket.
I tell my players all the time, we're winning games from the front, so let's be in front.
And just the throwing call, so just a tad scrappy. Everyone trying to save the wild passes. So need to get back to basics. New South Wales find themselves very wide.
Yeah, the defence having to do a lot of work here to get this ball out. Jack Vanderveld now with the ball on the sideline nearest us. And swing it all the way over to the other sideline and all the way back.
And there's just no one punching through their channels. You know, that has to go cross-court. And we've got a new goal shooter on for New South Wales.
Yeah, so that is Rubaku.
And under the sort of guise of Dan Cool, so he'll get a second attempt. And Rubaku, great start. And Eugene Lee gets a touch on it. Oh, the speed of Lee. And yeah, got the touch from Cool, so New South Wales feed on the baseline.
Setting this up properly.
They're trying to identify that every time, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Stuart Burton making sure.
Yeah, thinking that was going to be his ball. But I think the player was already standing out of court, so therefore it does not come off them. Missed the shot with the elevation and the tap down to advantage.
You know, Rawlings is very lucky that, you know, that he got the call then. They could have played an advantage. That could have been an unforced error. Yep.
Oh. That's not quite the place to feed it.
We talked about
Brown.
the bounce pass on our big tools. Like,
don't do it.
Don't do it. Big no. And Jason Hurd does his best defensively and gets the gain. Great work.
Great close contest.
If you're going to throw a ball away, you win it back on defense. Just caught temporarily here, but they find themselves on circle edge through Jason Hurd.
Yeah, again, just nice and patient.
Again, they're not chasing down the lead, so they can take their time with the placement of the passes now.
That's right. Doesn't matter if it takes them a minute to score, because if they've got the ball, New South aren't scoring, and they're not catching this lead anytime soon. 9 minutes, 15 to play. going to be a good percentage booster again for the Thunder.
Yeah, well, this in the open men's comp, it's such a strong contest. Every team offers something unique and different in terms of what they bring. So it's also a difference in the time of play, like the daytime games versus the nighttime games. I don't know why, but it just seems to be a factor in nationals with Lee Totoa.
All comes out.
Yeah, had a look at it. Almost collected his own teammate too in the meanwhile.
Jeez.
I think Connor Rawlings was very lucky not to be taken out.
Yeah, a fair bit smaller than Taroa too, is Rawlings. They don't need another injury, that's for sure.
No,
McPherson still getting some work on his foot down on that bench.
Yeah, it looks like it's a left ankle.
After his second quarter exit. Late in the second quarter.
And it was nice to see Mitch Purser up and about too behind the bench. So
Absolutely.
being able to walk, so it wasn't quite maybe as dramatic as what it looked like on court.
Yep, it's a long week. It's only day one, so hopefully these boys get through it.
Day one, game two.
Yeah, exactly.
And, we've already had a couple of knee injuries in some of the other divisions as well, which has been really unfortunate. So hopefully for those athletes, they have a speedy recovery and they're able to rejoin the competition.
Yes, indeed. Great hands there from Daniel Cools. Gets that ball out. Gilbard now on the attacking transverse line for the Thunder. Hurd on circle edge.
I almost want to use the word clinical for West Coast Thunder, but there's just been patches though for me where I feel like it hasn't been. So
yeah, they've had to scrap a little bit, but not too much. Every now and then it has been just a little bit of a scrap, but in general they've been very organised. Maybe
I like that.
It's a very organised game by them.
And they've had answers for everything that New South Wales have thrown at them tonight as well.
Yep, and when they've got those injuries as well, they've had players that have come on, stepped up, done the right thing. So see a few more changes now maybe happening down on that West Coast Thunder bench yet again. Taroa gets up over Rabaku, makes him chase it down. Oh, I thought Burton went a bit limp there too. Oh, not another one. Oh, is he? Isn't he?
No, I don't think
still
he
going
is.
all right.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Don't want a third.
He'll just bed
God.
back. He'll be fine. And, here you can probably reward. So you've got Robert King in the substitution box with the goal attack bib on and Dale Mather with a goalkeeper bib on.
Taroa off. Amazing game by him.
So
He's played superbly well.
Oh, sorry, Robert King in goal defence. Sorry, excuse me. So great work by the defensive duo from West Coast Thunder, really taking it to them, restricting them to 6 goals in the second quarter was fantastic. That was probably one of the highlights as Connor Rawlings mops up his own perspiration. There's not a lot to him, so I don't understand why there's so much perspiration.
He did do a long slide. Gilbard front space. Nice swing ball. Goes and follows it. Blundell there with the contact. Brown, good hands.
Just safe hands.
Yeah, even though it was kind of over his head, he had to take it almost from behind, but gets there, converts.
Jason Hurd regathers. Oh, great work.
Yep.
And gets the call, so play
Great
continues.
stuff, yep. Just going to set it back up where it was, though. So, again, umpires just slowing that up a little bit for New South Wales.
But it also sort of alters the momentum for them,
It does, yeah. Let's West Coast Thunder guys get back in and sort of get set, whereas they could have got out much quicker. That's some nice circle edge work there. Oh, Gurmich pulls it in. Misses the shot.
And interfering with the post is asking the question. I don't think it would have affected the shot.
Oh, that ball from the other court's going to come this way too. It's not going to enter the court. Good. Rabaku finishes that off. So New South 29 for them. Really low scoring game for New South.
By their standards,
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
They are last year's reigning national champs. So what learnings do they take from this game, Steve?
Well, I think they've got to mix up that play. They're just looking too long and too lobby over the 2 West Coast defenders, who are also Australian defenders.
Yes.
So they just have to mix it up and do that short game into the circle, have those drives, and then when it opens up, take the long ball if it's there.
Yeah,
not all the time.
it was all very one-dimensional, wasn't it? Like everyone sort of knew where it was going to go. They knew they were looking long. They probably looked long too early instead of getting across the transverse line before looking in. And that's a caution for the centre for New South Wales.
Yeah, just having a bit too much of a go and trying to hold that driving player up with his arms. So umpire's not having any of that. Brown finishes off another one. Beautiful work. 48th goal there. They should crack 50 this game, you would think. Still 4 minutes left to play. So it could be almost a 20-goal win here.
I would like to see
good
them
percentage
hit
booster.
at least 55 for me. 55 would be an acceptable mark for me. They do so much work defensively that I think they can get up.
Oh, nothing, nearly.
But they've got to score quick.
I was going to say, apart from Matt Brown and Gilbert out there, real young team here on the court at the moment.
Oh, offensive contact call against Burton. He caught it and he's got to give him the landing space. So
yeah, that is a bit disappointing, isn't it?
Interesting call, but you know what? They're how many goals up? It's not going to affect the final end score of this game. So there's no point moaning about it, yeah?
No. Oh, another change. Yeah, Rawlings off, Hurd into centre. While that ball was out of court. So good time to change your centre while you've got some time up your sleeves. Good hands in there from Jerome on that refeed.
And I think,
taps it down.
I think for me, like the versatility of the 12 deep squad that West Coast Thunder have in this open men's team is really prevalent. Like you can see it out on court. They've changed up everything. You know, this was not the starting 7 that lined up at the start of this match.
No,
and yet they're still scoring.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Again, what a luxury as a coach to be able to change your lineup and still
and have
maintain.
it seamless. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, heavy check. Gerbisher strong in the air. And
misses the shot.
And
It rims out.
And those shots will come over the course of the week as well. He's just got to keep working at them and keep attempting them. It's when shooters go shy that, you know, things start to unravel a little bit for them.
Yeah, nice work here by Hurd. Looks down. Gilbert.
Oh, that was a nice
someone
touch
got a hand on that.
Yeah.
Don't know who it was. Last couple of minutes here in the last round of the day, the first day of the AMMNA Championships.
I'd like to see Mbaku have an attempt at goal. He's already shot before. Oh, gets another goal for New South Wales.
And that was off a Thunder centre pass as well, so they get the chance to consolidate here. And since we talked about it,
they haven't scored.
West Coast haven't got off of 48, have they?
They have not, but
So
they have their opportunity now. They've got a moment.
Absolutely. Minute and a half they can get to. They can at least get to 50, which was my mark.
And good push from Elliot Clark that went unsighted.
Hurd, top of circle, can't get it to him, have to go back to Burton. Jerome Gilbert punching out there now.
And just steady as he does. No burst of speed, but it's his timing as he gets himself in.
Just hooks that one over to Brown at the post. Beautiful. Just feeds it into the right space. That little flick of the wrist. There's 49. Last minute now. Can they get one more? It's currently a 16-goal lead, so they've pushed this quarter out by another 2 goals.
And again, that's what you want. You just want to keep building on the quarter before.
Yeah, they've won every quarter. Only won the third by 1. Gurmich, yes, does offload in the end. I thought he was going to have to shoot that. He had held it for a while.
Had a good look at it.
So here we go. Can they get 50?
Big target, Steve's target, 50 points for West Coast Thunder.
Burton, Hurd combining off that centre pass, and again.
It would if everyone didn't run away from the ball.
Oh. Here we go, cross-court. Elliot in wing attack now. Sorry, Elliot Clark in wing attack. Using the first name last and last name first.
Yep, so it's definitely a Clark, so You know, they'll be looking to go to post, understanding the... Oh, and
they're not going to do
Stuffs
it.
it. Great job defensively from New South Wales.
Yeah, unlucky there for the Thunder. And not enough time for New South to score. So it will finish 49-34 at the end of day one here and the end of that game.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the call, Steve. I really do appreciate your time, knowing that you played 2 games, called 2 games. Thank you very much.
No worries at all. Enjoyed it. Thanks, Mandy.
And stay tuned with us. We've got day 2 coming to you live here on Clutch TV, kickstarting on 9 o'clock tomorrow morning on Easter Monday. See you then.